My name is Michael Wright, and most people call me Mike. So I run a company called Above and Beyond, and also teach at Circuit Media. Our latest project was taking a flying group to Glastonbury for 2017.
My name's Jono. I've known Mike for nearly 10 years, and I'm his catcher for most of his events.
Been involved in circus since I was 21. I'll be 70 next month, so quite a few years of experience. Don't know what else I would do with my life. I've tried other things which make more money, but none of them makes me as happy as being a performer.
Hi, I'm Sarah. My trick on the indoor show was Ugly Jessie, which isn't actually that ugly. I also did a little bit of singing and helped in the outdoor show, and did some doubles tricks with Alice.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I mostly consider myself to be a vertical artist, silks and rope, but I like to dabble. I like static trapeze, and turns out I really like flying trapeze. And I found myself at Glastonbury flying in the big top.
This is Karis Nichols, maths nut, now turned circus performer.
And this is Jasper Skule. Jasper is a trampolinist, a vegan that eats cheese and dairy.
For the big gigs that Mike has, like Glastonbury, when he's training up his students from Circuit Media and a couple of professionals who maybe graduated or he's worked with before, I come up and help him train them up in preparation, because I also teach the classes here at Circuit Media.
The process of learning to fly is really fairly straightforward. It obeys all the laws of physics.
It was difficult, but it was a nice way of training, having time after school to train and in quite a relaxed environment. It became stressful at the end, but only as the last push came. No pressure. If you're not ready to take a bar or return a catch, everyone works at their own level.
And everyone works as a team. Like, everyone was so supportive every time anyone
Face plants the net or...
Oh, I was going to say did something great.
Oh, right, yeah, that's well.
I think, it was really casual for us for a while. We were all kind of training, trying out some tricks, but then it got a little more serious once we established a couple tricks that we were really gonna work on to perform. Sometimes you have ripped hands and you just want to fly anyways, and you're just so frustrated because it just hurts to hold the bar. But
yeah, it was weird because the training process here was casual and grueling at the same time. So it was most evenings and pretty much every weekend for like 6 weeks, and it was really hard work. And I remember I got my first return, it was just before Easter, I think, and some days I'd just be like, why am I doing this? I just want to go home, this is awful. And then the days you were most tired and you've been doing the most and you just went out there and you were like, I'm just going to do this for an hour and see how it goes. Those were always like the golden days.
I remember when we all started getting our returns, and I think Sarah was the first, and it was just a domino effect after that. It was just like bam, bam, bam. Everybody was going for it. And I think Jono was on vacation, so we had Danny catching, and Danny got the privilege of catching a lot of our first returns back to board. When I did catch my first return, I felt like a real flyer for a minute. It was exciting because Mike, he would bring out a bottle of champagne to celebrate our first returns, which was really awesome.
My name's Danny. I first did flying trapeze 12 years ago, I think, when I did the course at Circuit Media, which is how I met Mike. I do a trick called baka, which is from the Japanese word baka. I might be slightly butchering the pronunciation there, but it means idiot or stupid, which originated as a failed planche. And Mike said to me that he'd never seen anyone stupid enough to try that before, so I called it baka.
We had an amazing team of people. The student body were some of them I took to Glastonbury last year, so we had a core a bit more au fait with all the problems that they were going to face, and also the intensity of the work that we were about to undertake. And they helped to guide the people who hadn't been last year. Added to that, we also take a group of professional artists, myself included. I tend to still try and get up there and do my little bit to make the show show happen. Still want to keep going as long as my body will let me. I don't know if that's pride, sheer determination, stupidity, arrogance. I'm not sure, probably little bits of all of the above. So the rig consists of four what we term goalposts. From one of them hangs the platform, which we stand on to leave to start the trick. There's this middle one, which the swing is attached to. The next one is the catcher, and then the fourth one, which supports the safety net. The process involves leaving the platform, swinging out, making a figure on the bar, and moving across to the catcher. This could involve simple passes where you make a shape and pass on up to single, double, triple, and at the moment I think the world's biggest is a 4.5.
I'm going to explain how flying trapeze works. I stand on the platform, I take off, and then the magic happens. And people clap, and they cheer, they throw their underwear at me, and everyone's happier for it.
De-rigging's always the easy bit, and there's always that joke of we'll just unstrap everything and run away and let the rig take itself down, but there's a bit more to it.
But it went pretty well, actually. I think the few people who knew what they were doing did a good job of assigning roles for everyone, because I know I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. I just did what I was told and tried my best to not get in the way.
Stakes in the middle of the rig, two big ones to put the turfer on. Turfer is the cranky thing with the wire, and then you attach it to each goalpost of the rig and just slowly bring it down.
A little bit on the difficult side, especially when you've never done it before and you don't really know what's going to happen when you're trying to drop these huge metal towers. But after you've done it once, it's a little bit easier to understand.
So as you can imagine, the rig's quite a large structure. In total, we weigh somewhere between 3.5 to 4 tons of equipment. So we tend to hire 3.5 ton vehicles. We could probably fit them in 2, but for carrying around all the equipment, tents, camping equipment, depending on where we stay, we use 3 vehicles, which becomes quite expensive.
When we pack the vans, that's when you see people's obsessive compulsive sort of tendencies really kick in. People get a bit like stressy about how things have to go.
You have to understand that when you're dealing with just this flying trapeze rig, you're taking quite a lot of kit. The A-frame bars, the nets, stakes, sledgehammers, all the tiny little details. It's feeling good today. It's actually loosening.
Filter. And then
Back up.
But we've got light. Huh? We tried the 25.
us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong? Blue sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Where did we go wrong?
One of the first problems that we had when we got to Glastonbury is we found out we'd left something quite important behind. Because we were taking 2 rigs, we actually forgot the catch bar rig that I needed to hang the trapeze on.
There's a black rigging bar which is on the back outside, you know, the back wing. If you could pop that in the van. So, because when we loaded the circumeter van somewhere, I left that behind. They were only leaving at 10:30, which is why I thought let's unpack the van.
So where is it? Is it still against the back cave?
It's just against the back cave outside. We were very lucky this year being able to be inside the big top. If you move inside the tent, your equipment becomes a little bit smaller. You just need to hang a frame, which is obviously the same dimensions.
So a wire from the cupola and a scaffold from the cupola, or vice versa?
Our normal practice is 10 meters, so 10 meters plus a little bit is great for us. It doesn't have to be 10.50. We need a minimum of 10.5 meters. We can squeeze into 9 and then we'd adapt the net height to suit. Support the catch bar.
It's just pushing it further that way. Because its pickup truss will still be in the same position, so it is just changing that angle.
Yes, very challenging rigging scenario, simply due to all the stuff that has to go inside the tent. It's a lovely 14-meter high cupola and about 14 meters long, so theoretically the rig should be a doddle to just hang everything in.
Rigging overall, when we got there, especially in the big top, was the thing I learned most about. It's tricky because we can't go up and do our own rigging.
It was scorching hot heat, and so that was just phenomenally bad in the big top itself. The riggers were having to do timed shifts up in the ceiling so they could come down and get water.
Quite a few of us didn't necessarily know massively how to put the rig up in that place. Lots of the work was done by Jono, just staking like a madman. But it went up pretty quickly.
One of the easiest parts of Glastonbury was actually getting our outdoor rig up. A lot of the students that we took with us this year had been the year before, and so had already started to learn the process the previous year, and so we were quite well versed in where everything needed to go. We knew exactly what rigs could get put up. As another van came, another rig could go up, so we actually got up really quickly.
Yeah, we did a lot of work in those hot days, putting up the 2 rigs. Everybody was hands-on, everybody was dirty, everybody was tired. And yeah, more work than anybody could have bargained for, I think. But in the end, it was definitely worth it.
There's a method which is past this rope. I can't do it because you need special tools.
Can't let you through with this, but just take
One of my favourite nights out at Glastonbury this year was one of the first nights we were there. We took a couple of the newbies who had never been to Glastonbury before. We went on a little explore around Glastonbury, went to find a couple of the bars, pretended to be crew members for other areas so that we could go and drink in their bars, which I'm not really sure how we pulled that off. We're not very convincing. And it somehow ended up with us all learning a crazy leg wrestling game up in the Arcadia bar, where we were just mostly rolling around on the floor, beating the crap out of each other, it seemed like. And I obviously won, no matter what the others tell you. There was no cheating.
I've got to redeem myself. Alright, yeah, I understand the game then. Kelsey's not into that.
It was really funny. Oh.
Right.
We were nearly there, like most of the rig was up and ready, and we just had to get the net out and sort out where things were. There was still stakes to go, and we didn't want to do it anymore.
Everyone's been working in the heat, and everyone's arms are tired from putting in stakes, and it was just a process of, let's just get this done, please, let's just get this net set, let there be no more problems.
We were just making silly mistakes by this point, and it was a late one. It was about 11 o'clock, and everyone was just really, really tired.
We take it now, take them out tomorrow and put them on the floor, and then I know the exact measurement. If it's with a tape, it could be still.
Rigging in the tent at midnight was very exhausting. I basically curled up into a little ball and started sulking.
People were just miscommunicating as well, so we'd be like, okay, as in like, okay, stop, and people would be like, alright, I'm going to start cranking now. No.
And thankfully it went up okay.
That's not a big job. It's just to lay it out, measure it, put cables, and then strop and tie the strop and tie the strop and tie the strop and put it. The right thing.
Alright, and break. Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, for the big top, we had a dress run, and we were all just dripping with sweat.
When we were going up there to try and just set the levels and things, we were genuinely wondering how we were going to do this. I didn't know if it was actually going to be possible because it was so humid. I was struggling to breathe when I was up there.
I don't know how easy it's going to be. We're too tight on this back and not tight.
I had 2 swings, which felt good. The net was fine. And I remember Neil's taking me aside and being like, it's okay, the rig's different, like, it's going to be scary when you get up there. But on the platform in the 10, it was a sore. By the time I got up there, I was just stood on the board, like, dying to leave it so I could just be in the breeze for like 10 seconds before I dropped to the net.
We're all sharing this sweat towel up on the platform, and it didn't even matter how many times you wiped yourself dry, you were just instantly wet again with your own sweat. We're all just slipping off of Jono, trying to catch. I felt so bad for the riggers. I heard that they were going up there and coming down after 10-15 minutes, puking or passing out or getting heat exhaustion.
I don't think I got sunburn as such. I just got into a state of being very hot and sweaty and dirty, and I just accepted that because it's Glastonbury and everybody's hot and sweaty and dirty.
We'd done a lot of work. Stress levels were a little high due to getting 2 different rigs up, trying to get two different shows together, and the heat was obviously really getting to everyone as well. So silly little mistakes kept on happening, rigging errors, music not being ready even though we'd had days to sort that out.
It's annoying that happened literally 2 minutes before we were having to start our walkthrough, yeah?
At one point I had to bring everyone together and say, guys, we've got to kind of reset and step it up a notch. The public are coming in and we need to be ready, and right now we're not ready.
Yeah, you guys worked really hard. I'm sorry to start this walkthrough with a moan. We'll come over here and we'll go through the running order for all of y'all. So we're starting with popular song and then duo hoop, so here and here. So the first thing we'll need 3 people just to be safe on this pulley line over here for this hoop, and then 2 people with Alan, Indy, and you're probably filming, so let's go with Rachel.
Up guys, straight away, yes.
Was it on the outside of that beaner or no?
So our duo hoop routine was counterweighted. At that point in time, we had my hoop on a single line, but Hannah was on a Z line. And having more pulleys makes it easier to pull someone up. So with a single line and me on the hoop, it just wasn't really going anywhere. So I had to find the time to go up and change the rigging and make it into a Z line.
The second pulley, the one over to this side. Cool. So then Ocean is up on the swinging trap.
He shows a Tommy front!
I see Tommy!
As Ocean finishes. Cool. So swing trap and then into trampoline and cradle with Tao and Jeff.
I'm not a big performer, so
Sorry, go on.
it was a big step, but thanks to Holly, pushing me right out there. Midday, just having to play on the trampoline, got all these people to start watching me, and made me like walk around and like own the trampoline and.
Nice. Yeah, someone else can put the Diablo back on. Cool. So that just pulls all the way back, and on the Z line is the duo rope. Okay, duo rope finishes, acro begins back on the platform.
So as well as the flying, I was in an acro piece with Rowan, Graham and Indy. So we were on a platform like suspended in the middle, a couple of metres up, which was an interesting experience, somewhat bouncier than real ground.
As acro is happening, the crane bar has gone back up with Val. As Rachel's doing rotating hoop, the crane bar comes down again and is disconnected completely. Carl does rope, and as Carl is doing rope, the platform has already come down as soon as the acro is done, so we'll mark that as we get to see who's free. But we can start unrolling the net gradually, so we get these ones clipped in, these side spreaders, and then as Carl finishes up there, we're all looking now at the cradle with Holly and Pal. Thus we are done. That was good. That was nice and smooth, and everything was ready well before the next act. Couple of problems at the very start, which we've addressed and we'll figure out. All the acts are looking really nice, but just enjoy it. That would be my note, because they're all really highly skilled. Play to these guys, not to us. We don't care. They do.
Yeah. There's cool fireworks in the background.
For the dressing room, we had our first nighttime time rehearsal for the outdoor show so we could see what it was like flying a kite, and that was the first time I caught my return.
Forward, backwards, press.
This is freaking awesome. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. This is freaking awesome. Walking about to go and get some compliments. Popping it, walking about to go and get some compliments. Popping it, walking about to go and get compliments. Compliments. Bag it. I'm gonna $40. Sis, I'm gonna $40. Sis, I'm gonna $40. Sis, I'm gonna $40. Sis, I'm gonna.
Being backstage at the Big Top was crazy just because there was so much talent there, and just being back there with those other artists. Yeah, once we put on our bright pink and blue outfits, the nerves would settle at that point, and I was like, all right, I got this. You know, I got the outfit on, I'm ready. It was go time.
Yeah, so obviously the net goes up after the act before us. But I think by the Sunday, they'd maybe got it down to 2 minutes or something like that.
70 years old, what is a secret? He told me very strong painkillers. It's true. He apparently gets them from a friend of his on Dalston High Street. Non-prescription, if you know what I mean. That is a joke, sir. Obviously not.
The shows themselves were absolutely fantastic. Working in the tent is always such a fearful and wonderful thing at the exact same time. I don't tend to do a lot of performing, but I drop everything to perform at Glastonbury, to perform at that Big Top, because it's such a brilliant crowd to perform to and it's such a brilliant team to work with.
It was really good performing in the Big Top at Glastonbury. Pretty much always be guaranteed an audience because it's such a lovely venue, and if it rains, even better for us. If it's really hot, that's also kind of good because it's shaded. Always a lovely crowd, always supportive, seemed to love what we were doing, which was nice. I started on the trapeze and I'd start singing, and then, well, you know, yeah, I think my favourite bit was Alice being next to me and first talking about, and everyone was amazing. So there was 2 people on there.
So in the first trick of the first show of 6 shows, I managed to crack my rib by landing from quite a height on top of the return bar. I didn't realise I'd done it until the end of that show, but then the subsequent 5 shows after that were excruciatingly painful, but I really wanted to do them because that was the reason I'd gone to Glastonbury. I wasn't really interested in seeing any music or anything, I went there to fly, so I was gonna fly, and fly I did. It was a really nice experience for me to perform in the tent, because I've never done that before, I've always flown outdoors, and doing flying trapeze in the tent definitely had a real old school circus vibe to it, which was really nice. There's not too much of that about these days, so that was really fun to be part of.
The tricks that I did in the Big Top was a pelican, which I didn't catch or return every time, unfortunately, but I was happy to throw that trick. I love that trick. But my favorite trick that I got to do was the piggyback with Rowan. Basically, Rowan does all the work. He just holds on for dear life, and I get to, to ride piggyback across. And on the last day, we were just doing it as a dismount, but on the last day we threw it to catch. And not having practiced it to catch many times, actually, it worked out surprisingly well.
I never realised that rhinestones could be a source of injury, but apparently if you have rhinestones on your costume and they're spread across your legs and then you hang upside down by your legs and then regularly catch friggin' fat, heavy flyers who decide to drop onto you, rhinestones will, if superglued to your tights, just stay there and rip the crap out of your skin. So after our first show, I noticed something was sore on my legs, and as I was peeling off my tights, most of my skin and blood came with it. And I couldn't touch my legs, I couldn't wash them properly because it was just stinging too much. And every show, like the other 9 shows I had to do, I was just taping my legs with whatever I could find. Sometimes it was bar tape, sometimes I put a bit of a t-shirt there and taped up that at one point just to try and pad my legs a little bit to give me some protection, and it never worked. It always hurt, and they've only just started to heal about a month later. So that was fun.
Stood there in the crowd, felt like a lifetime, only a few minutes. When it was all over, I said to myself, is that all there is to getting lost? Is that all there is? Is that all there is?
I was treating a girl independently. She was making baby for me when the baby born, and I went to see life was
I don't think I heard anyone in the Circus Big Top cheer for anyone or anything more than when Mike Wright jumps off that platform. He just gets the biggest cheer every time, everyone goes wild.
Delivered a fun, family-friendly show that the audience go crazy for. There's something truly spectacular and magical about seeing a Flying Trapeze act inside a Big Top Circus tent, because it's quite rare these days. And I think that's why we receive such high praise and love from the audience.
jump in.
Well done, guys.
That was an absolute pleasure. I don't like performing, but I would do that again.
Me three.
Genuinely don't know.
Yeah, I suppose if we look at Glastonbury over the years, I think one of the main reasons they hire us is we do the trapeze workshops, the flying workshops. And that's always a big pull with the public. They offer tickets out early in the morning, and within the first sort of like 15 minutes the tickets are all gone, pretty much like Glastonbury Festival. We offer all ages, all sizes, all shapes. We have equipment to keep people safe and everybody feel comfortable, looked after and guided. And also there's people on the board to look after you. Should you be really, really scared, giving you instructions all the way through.
It's just interesting teaching people. You get to meet people from the festival that come up and have a go and have a chat with them.
Surprisingly, I don't think anyone was drunk.
No, a couple
Maybe
of ladies
like
were.
one lady, I remember her.
But overall, workshop's fine. You have to be switched on quite a lot of the time for a long period of time, but you just have to get used to it.
Also, when the flyers run workshops, it helps them to understand their own technique better, so it's a win-win situation.
So everyone who was involved in the outdoor show was also helping out with workshops during the day. So we had 3 hours of workshops from 1 till 4 every day from Friday to Sunday. And there would be 6 or 7 of us running the workshops. Alan was mostly in charge of it, and I got to do some lunging and shouting at people and telling them what to do with their legs and their hands, and hopefully they would listen and do the right thing. And I also got to do some catching of people when they didn't do the right thing, and I just had to pull down on the lunge lines and hope I didn't go flying.
Yes, we do both our shows and then usually start cooking dinner, and that was always a bit of a task. Friday or Saturday and we'd run out of rice.
Curry and pasta goes hand in hand, and I'm chatting
I
about.
just had a complete meltdown because we were having curry and we ended up having curry with pasta, and it was all so wrong. It was fine after that. I think I was just a bit tired by that point.
I mean, big bits of rice.
It was definitely a team effort. It wasn't just the rigging and like the actual physical labor of it, and all that. It was, making food for each other, making sure that everybody was all right. Everybody was fed, and everybody had what they needed to carry on, to be happy, and to perform. And I think everybody played their role in that.
Alright, so notes from last night. It was flat. I think we all agreed on that. The performances were good, but everyone has a lot more left in them. Really played up, played to these guys. 2, 3. There we go.
So in the outdoor show, I opened it with Hannah. We sung a song by Stack, I think the artist's name is, and Hannah is a very good musician because I literally just turned up. I was like, okay, here's a song that I think we could sing. Played it to her once, she was like, yeah, these are the chords, and that was that. It probably took us till like the Saturday night to actually figure out the levelings of the sound and stuff. But I think most of those people heard us. It was still, I think, in the review we got, people said, it was nice, gave a bit of narrative to the piece. And then I did the sound and lighting for everyone else, so I just got to watch the outdoor show every night.
In the outdoor show, I did a 2-rope sack, pretty similar to something I would do on silks, except ropes don't blow away in the wind. For the outdoor show, we never got a chance to see each other's acts prior to actually performing together. So it was a little difficult to know what the overall picture was going to look like.
With the outdoor show, it's harder to get an audience because there's a lot more things going on. It's late at night. We don't have a family audience anymore because it's like 1:45 in the morning, so we have to work harder to gain an audience and pull them across the field to come stay and watch us. But I think we did that really well this year. There was a nice clear theme that was running all the way through.
It turned out surprisingly well, and every night it just got better and better, and everybody really showed up. I mean, it was midnight 45 and everyone's exhausted, everyone's a little bit sunburnt, but they showed up.
We did get rained off one night though.
First night.
You did yours still, didn't you?
Yeah,
in the rain.
me and Talon and Kelsey was the last one to go.
Which was a shame, but I'd rather have had it called off than try to do that slippy acro performance.
It started pouring down on poor Graham, but you know, he carried on with his act, and I whispered to Mike, I'm like, should I go? Should I go up? Like, the rain was really coming down at this point, and he's like, it's up to you, maybe just go, just do it, just do it. But by the time I'm up there, it's just pouring rain and the ropes are slipping, and I'm thinking, what am I doing?
The students just worked so hard on capturing their attention so that people weren't just coming in, wandering up and staying for 5 minutes. They would sit there and watch the whole hour-long show, and they'd come back the next night. It was really a brilliant year.
We didn't do massive de-rigging. We did like basic essentials, so we took some of the rigging down, like I said, took some stakes out, took the platform away out of the way so we could just roll the net up properly and everything. But most of it we had to wait until daytime to really do. Like start lowering the rig down.
I couldn't be more proud of what we did and how well it all turned out. Like I couldn't have ever guessed how great the indoor show was going to be. It was just so much fun. The music was fun, the people were fun. We just had such a great time together and all the hard work paid off.
Very good performances this year. We got quite a nice crit from Glastonbury and we managed to pull out a really credible professional show, Rock the Tent. I haven't heard responses like that in the Big Top for years. People seem to like what we did.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so well done. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Yay!
Yeah, well done.
Nailed it!
I'm trying to save you from yourself, Hannah. I'll give you more praise in the morning. I think, like most of you, I'm just feeling a bit like, oh God, just get me a beer and a bed. But seriously, good job for the whole week. It's been a long and hard week. And you
Sorry I can't be here tomorrow. I am going to miss the pull down and surprisingly I will miss being here. So thank you guys for all your support, all your hard work. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Hands like this, and you have to do a little wave, like this. No one to the back. You can't be always the...
Any questions?
Everybody happy?
Guys?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Nothing French or Italian.
Just the one who translates.
Carl, is my hoodie under your ass?
When? I don't even know when it was. I had one mission, okay?
But I came down at 9 because I was just awake anyway and just did the acro platform and was A-frame pitch.
My main highlight of Glastonbury was probably getting to see all of the other circus shows, like being in the field where there were so many amazing performers and stuff. What was your highlight of Glastonbury, just for ski days?
Getting to train for 5 days on a nice rig in nice weather, just being in that sort of environment, like a festival, but having nice showers and having something to do rather than just getting drunk, but still being able to go out and have a nice time.
The students, as I say, were amazing this year. I can't tell you how hard they worked. It was good to see how they all worked cooperatively in unison. I think that's one of the core things of really good circus, is that you go out as I suppose like a family. We all feel we know and love each other enough and care about each other enough to want to help the other person, and it's not about get out of my way, let me be the star. It's all very much shared. Flying is one of those skills where it's a team. It's all about the team, and if the team works well, then the show works well. And that seemed to be what we got at Glastonbury this year. We had an amazing team. There was good spirit. I don't know, I had such a good time. I feel like I never want to retire.
Guess we're going this way, guys.
Everyone lost the plot. Could anyone even speak? Not really.
No, I think coming back, it should have been that we leave all the kit in the vans and just have gone to the pub and wound down and get a good night's sleep and everyone come back at like 10 o'clock the next day.
I'd like to say that everyone was just down because it was all over, but that wasn't it. We just all didn't want to be there. We were so tired.
But I think the main struggle was just getting there. Everyone was exhausted and not really having a plan what was going on. Like, there was just bags of people's stuff everywhere and no one knew where anything was going in the shed, and we were like, for fuck's sake.
We all kind of did a half-hearted trip to Wetherspoons. It was like a goodbye, but Mike wasn't there, so it just wasn't insane.
If you don't, good job. To Mike and to all of you, good job. Mike is probably one of the most caring and kindest men that I've ever met. Yeah, I owe him a lot. I think he's an absolute crazy nut job for doing what he does at 70 years old. But I truly hope I'm like him at that age. And yeah, I have a lot of love for the man. Always will.